by His Holiness Vasishika Maharaj, built a sacred place without making it complicated. If you chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, everything will be peaceful. I will repeat again. Build a sacred space without making it complicated. If you chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, everything will be peaceful. This is quote by His Holiness Vaisheshika Maharaj. So I welcome all the devotees on the early morning call today. May I know who's in the call today?
Hare Krishna Mataji and Hare Krishna to all the devotees. This is Surrender from Maryland. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Surrender Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you so much for joining.
Hare Krishna Mataji and Hare Krishna to all the devotees on this call. This is Geeta from Maryland. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Gita Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you so much for joining.
Hare Krishna, this is Vinod Maheshwari from Maryland.
Hare Krishna, Vinod Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you so much for joining and thank you so much for seeing you yesterday for Ramnami festival at temple.
Hare Krishna Mataji, this is Amritamani Devidasi. Dandavat Pranam to you and all the devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Amritamani Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you so much for joining.
Hare Krishna, Shyam Rasika Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. My humble obeisances to all the assembled devotees on this call. This is Premanandini Devidasi from Ashburn, Virginia.
Hare Krishna, Prem Nandini Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you so much for joining.
Hare Krishna Mataji and Hare Krishna to all devotees. This is Malini from Ashburn, Virginia. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Malini Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you so much for joining. Anybody else would like to announce their name? Okay. Our today's speaker is joined. So, Hare Krishna, everyone. Today we are so fortunate to have Her Grace Madhvi Gaurangi Mataji from Philadelphia. And Mataji will enlighten us on Srimad Bhagavatam 8.19.12. So, Hare Krishna Mataji, if you are ready, please take over the call now.
Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for giving me this wonderful opportunity to speak on the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam this morning. Let's just start. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayan Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udire Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati. Next key. Hare Krishna. So we are reading from Canto 8, Chapter 19, verse number 12. Okay. You want me to share the screen, Mataji? Okay, so I don't have the sharing rights, but
wait, Mataji. My Prabhu will give that. Kunjas Prabhu, can you please give the rights to Mataji?
let me share my screen. Okay. 8, 19, 12.
You can share, Mataji.
Yeah. Apashyan iti hovacha mayan vishtam idam jagat bhrashitriha me gato nunam. Yato narvartate puman. अपश्यन्निति इति वाच मयानिविष्टम् इदं जगत् ब्राहित्येह मे गतो नूनं यतो नावृते पुमान् अपश्यन्निति होवाच मायानाविष्टमम् इदं जगत् बृहर्तिः मे गतो नूनं यतो न वर्तते पुमान्. Anybody would like to recite the verse? If not, let's just go into the translation.
Can't see your screen, Mataji.
Okay. You can see my screen, Mataji?
We can see you.
Okay. Okay, let's move on to the translation and purport. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Unable to see him, Hiranyakashipu said, I have searched the entire universe, but I could not find Vishnu, who has killed my brother. Therefore, he must certainly have gone to that place from which no one returns. In other words, he must now be dead. Purport. Atheists generally follow the Buddha philosophical conclusion that at death everything is finished. Hiranyakashipu, being an atheist, thought this way because Lord Vishnu was not visible to him. He thought that the Lord was dead. Even today, many people follow the philosophy that God is dead. But God is never dead. Even the living entity who is a part of God never dies. Na jayate mriyate va kadachin. For the soul, there is never birth or death. This is the statement of Bhagavad Gita 2:20. Even the ordinary living entity never takes birth or dies. What then is to be said of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the chief of all living entities? He certainly never takes birth or dies. Ajo Pisan Avyayatma. Bhagavad Gita 4:6. Both the Lord and the living entity exist as unborn and inexhaustible personalities. Thus, Hiranyakashipu's conclusion that Vishnu was dead was wrong. As indicated by the words, Yato Narvartate Puman, there is certainly a spiritual kingdom, and if the living entity goes there, he never returns to this material world. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 4.9. Tvaktva deham punarjanma neti mam eti so Arjuna. Materially speaking, every living entity dies. Death is inevitable. But those who are karmis, jnanis, and yogis return to this material world after death, whereas bhaktas do not. Of course, if a bhakta is not completely perfect, he takes birth in the material world again, but in a very exalted position, either in a rich family or a family of the purest brahmanas, Suchinam Srimatam Gehe, just to finish his development in spiritual consciousness. Those who have completed the course of Krishna consciousness and are free from material desire return to the abode of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yat gatva na nirvartante tat thama paramam mama. Here the same fact is stated, yato narvartate puman. Any person who goes back home, back to Godhead, does not return to this material world. Let's just chant Mangalacharan prayers in order to invoke all kinds of its auspiciousness and ask for blessings from our previous acharyas. Om Ajnanitimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुव एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So we are reading from 8th canto. Very interesting story is going on of Lord Vamandeva. And we have seen that how Lord Vamandeva, he appeared in the house of Kashyapa, house of Kashyapa and Diti. And after appearance of Lord Vamandeva, he grew as a dwarf. And Vamandeva got so many gifts from different devatas. And then Vamandeva, he approached the sacrificial arena of Bali Maharaj. And we have seen that how Bali Maharaj was feeling so fortunate after receiving Vamandev. And Vamandev, as a little small effulgent Brahmana, he started praising the descendants of Bali Maharaj. Before then, Bali Maharaj actually praised this beautiful little Brahmana boy, Vamandev. And after getting satisfied by the praises of Bali Maharaj, now Vamandev started glorification of Bali Maharaj and his dynasty. And Bali Maharaj is coming from such a great personalities. I mean, he's coming as a descendant of great personalities. And Vamandev started praising about Bali Maharaj's ancestors. Although we have seen in 3rd canto, we read about Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu when there was the discussion about incarnation of who? Boar incarnation. Varhade. At that time, we already read the entire pastime of Jaya and Vijay. How Jaya and Vijay entered in this material world and how Jaya and Vijay took birth as Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. And Vamandev started praising Hiranyakashipu after praising Hiranyaksha. This time, Vamandev started praising both Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. And when Hiranyakashipu heard about the death of his brother, Hiranyakashipu, he got so furious. He got so furious after hearing this news. He was just going everywhere where he could find Vishnu and kill him. Thanks to this animated movie Mahavatar Nrsimha, even after millions of years ago, when there is a movie like that comes out, people just get, themselves in awe and reverence. So we can imagine at that point of time when actually this happened, what were the feelings of those people who actually viewed the entire pastime in their with their eyes. So Vamandeva, he was praising Hiranyakashipu. He said Hiranyakashipu, after hearing the news of his brother's death, he went to the residence of Vishnu, Lord Vishnu, so that he can kill Lord Vishnu. because he knew that behind everything, the power which is coming to these devatas, power which is coming to these devatas, and even the boar incarnation is nothing but Lord Vishnu. He understood this and he wanted to kill Vishnu. And in order to just kill Vishnu, he attained or he reached the abode of Lord Vishnu. Now, this is very, what you say, very difficult to understand, right? Because if anybody can cross the material layers of material universe and reached up to the spiritual sky, how come he is coming back, and how even the Yogamaya Shakti of Bhagavan is letting this demon entering into the spiritual world. So the point is that even in this material universe, there are 3 Vaikunthas. And it seemed like that Hiranyakashipu, he reached that Vaikuntha Loka which is within the material universe, the abode of Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. And it has been given here in the commentary or even in the purport, in the translation as well as in the purport, that Vishnu, out of the fear or he hid himself. Out of anxiety, he hid himself in the heart of Hiranyakashipu. Now, the commentary or the explanation which has been given by Srila Prabhupada as well as by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, they are saying that Lord Vishnu was in anxiety not because of the fear of Hiranyakashipu, but because of compassion towards Hiranyakashipu. Because of the compassion. Because Hiranyakashipu at that time, he was in so much anger. And Lord Vishnu did not want to kill him right there, because at that time, that was not the appropriate time for killing Hiranyakashipu. Because Prahlad Maharaj was about to come. So he hid himself in the heart of Hiranyakashipu. And this is also one of the styles of Bhagavan to enjoy the, nourish the rasa, Veera rasa. And at that point of time, this verse was spoken by whom? Hiranyakashipu. What Hiranyakashipu is saying? Hiranyakashipu is saying, oh, where is that Vishnu? Maybe he just hid himself, or he must have gone to that place from in that abode. If someone reaches that abode, he can never come back. That means he just left the place. And when Hiranyakashipu is making this statement, he is not referring to a spiritual world, eternal space. Srila Prabhupada is writing in the purport very clearly that this is the mentality of atheistic people. They think that the Supreme Lord, or there is no existence of God and godly powers. There is no one who is running the show of this material world. And they think that maybe, when the arguments have been given, then that who organized this material world, right? When we come in someone's house and we see that the house is well organized, everything is on place. So the guest thinks, oh, wow, the owner of this house is so organized, right? We think like that. Everything is in place and the house is so clean. So must have been somebody have taken care of this house. So similarly, when the such arguments are being given to the atheist, so they say, oh, maybe God was there at one point of time. And he organized everything. Okay, everything was organized. But later on, because we are very intelligent and he is not coming in front of our eyes, we cannot see him with our limited intelligence. So maybe he is dead. Maybe the God does not even exist. That's what Srila Prabhupada is saying. If we see the theme of this purport or the takeaway points from these purports, the main focal points of this particular purport is about the atheism, and also what Srila Prabhupada is saying. One is atheism and other is once a Jivatma, a living entity, reaches to the eternal abode of Bhagavan, to the spiritual sky, that living entity never comes back. He never comes back. That's what Srila Prabhupada is saying in his purport. These are the two main points, takeaways from today's discussions, from our today's discussion. It should be two main points. So let's discuss one about the atheism. Bhagavan Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, he is explaining very nicely in 7:15. What he is explaining? Bhagavan is making one point. Bhagavan, before in the 7th chapter, knowledge of the absolute, first Bhagavan explained, first Supreme Lord Krishna is explaining that what four kind of people surrender unto me. And after that, Sri Krishna is explaining what four kind of people who never surrender unto me. Namam dushkrito mudha prapadyante naradhama mayaya paratha jnana asurim bhavam ashrita. What Bhagavan is saying? He is saying that these four kinds of people never surrender unto me. Never ever. First is Naradhama, lowest of mankind. Lowest of mankind, these people may be socially and politically very, very sound in the society, very, very respected. But they fail to recognize the presence of God. Naradhamas, they are the lowest among the men. Lowest people. And Maya ya paratha jnana, erudite scholars, scientists, philosophers, who get the knowledge from so many books, and they think that on the basis of their limited knowledge, they can invent any kind of product in this material world. But they forget that they are taking the ingredients only from this material universe. And they propagate various kind of philosophies. Maya ya parata jnana. Very intelligent, knowledgeable people who deny the existence of spirit, soul, or Bhagwan, or God. One kind is duskriti, miscreants. These miscreants are those who are actively inimical to Supreme Personality of Godhead and actively opposes service. They just declare. They have the knowledge that there is some God, but they declare that we don't believe in the power of God. And Srila Prabhupada often mentions about Mayavadis, impersonalist. These Mayavadis, they know that there is effulgence of Bhagavan, which is coming, effulgence of Bhagavan, but they think that that's the ultimate goal of their life. And the forms of Bhagavan, when we worship, they say that everything is Maya. Maya means everything is just matter. So in the period of time, maybe deity worship may help, but in longer run, the ultimate goal of merging into the effulgence of Bhagavan, impersonal, merging into Bhagavan, these deities, they are just the form of matter. We can see that these are coming from stone, marble, so many other things. This is just matter. This is the mentality of Mayavadis. They believe that everything is God. Everything. Even this living entity is also Brahman. So when we leave this body, we also are going to achieve our, not only leave this body, when the illusion removes, then this living entity also becomes Brahman, Aham Brahmasmi. But when the Vedas are saying Aham Brahmasmi, that means that I am the same qualitatively as the Supreme Lord. But that does not mean that I am the same as Lord. But the Mayavadis, they believe, truly believe that, this living entity is Brahman, but it gets illusioned. But if this living entity is Brahman, then how it get illusioned? That's the question. Because it is quantitatively small and they don't believe on this. Anyway, so they are also atheists. And one kind of atheist which Srila Prabhupada is mentioning in this purport is voidist, Buddhism, Buddhists, Buddhist. What they believe that after the destruction of this body, once you reach up to that point of shunya, you meditate, you reach up to that point of shunya, there is nothing, you will never come back. You will never ever come back. There is no soul. They don't believe on Vedas. They don't believe of reincarnation. Once the body destroyed, unless and until you reach the place of that shunya, zero, from where once you reach, you are not going to come back again. That means everything just destroyed. There is no presence of spirit, anything. It's just the consciousness. Once the consciousness attain that nirvana, that moksha, that's it. That's the purpose. That's just the purpose. But there is a difference between Mayavadi and Buddhist, which of course is not the theme for today, so I'm not going to explain it. But the Buddhist, they think that, okay, that's just the solution of all the suffering. They just believe that just stopping the existence and reaching up to the state of void is the solution to all the sufferings, and that's it. No coming back. They don't even believe in the effulgence of the Supreme Lord, the Brahman effulgence, which is one of the features of the Supreme Absolute Truth. And Srila Prabhupada here compared Hiranyakashipu with the philosophy of Hiranyakashipu with Buddhists. And I was kind of researching more because only these four types, and of course Mayavadis and Buddhist, they are also there. So I was researching and I saw even Keshava Swami Maharaji was explaining about the types of atheists. And these atheists, we will be surprised by looking at the shapes and sizes of atheists. It is just not those demons. It can be me. It can be you. How come? There are some people who are default atheist. Default atheist means those who never really thought about it. They don't have any information at all about the Supreme Lord, about Bhagavan. They don't know anything. Don't know anything. They just accept the life like that. Default atheist. And we can give an example of a newly born child who may not know anything about the Supreme Lord. For the small child, the only universe is his small little things. He don't know anything about the Lord, so he don't believe on that. Default atheist. And next class is a philosophical atheist. Those who think that believe in God is very, very immature philosophy. They think that, everything we are doing, we can see ourselves. Why we have to believe on God? Who is the God? Who is God? Did you ever see him? These come under the people, these come under the category of people who are philosophically try to become an atheist. That, where is God? Did you see? Like Hiranyakashipu also asked Prahlad Maharaj, is your Bhagavan present in the pillar? Philosophically, they try to defeat you. And you are going to bring so many arguments from Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, but they don't believe on these books. So there is no sense. Philosophical atheists. And there are some people who are emotional atheists. Those, when they come to Krishna consciousness, to the temple, new people, very, very new. They don't know anything. They are not from any particular background. They never heard of Krishna. But just for curiosity, they just started coming. And when they started coming, they found it very interesting that people are dancing, beautiful, colorful clothes, saris, tilak, and so nice, beautiful deities, amazing prasad. Just hear and chant and then eat prasad and go home. And slowly and steadily, they started involving themselves into the temple services. Little temple services. Even they come on weekdays, weekends, very excited, very enthusiastic. Never reading. They are not reading anything. They are not interested in philosophy at all. They sit in the class just, just as a, not to learn anything, but just to hear and then take prasadam. And they get involved in so many devotional services. Not interested in philosophy at all. And slowly they start looking at the hypocrisy, controlling mentality, and so many people who maybe are in the dress of devotees and very, very senior to them. But they start noticing these things in their behavior. Now, because they have not entered into the philosophical realm of Krishna consciousness, or they have entered, but they did not understand the points. What they do, they turn away. They turn away from the whole process. Have you ever noticed this happened with people? And then they started this, they get more puzzled. That how the worshippers of Lord can be like that. My neighbor is better than them, like that. So they became atheists for a little bit of time because they are kind of emotional people, not having grasp on any philosophy and not sharing or discussing their doubts with any senior Vaishnava, which they feel can help them. And the other kind of Vaishnava or atheism is covered atheism. Covered atheism. What is this covered atheism? These people, they think that ultimately everything is God. Similar as Mayavadis. Everything is God. And everything is God. So what is the need of worshipping a special deity? There is really no need. So these people are like that. And they claim that, we are also God conscious, but we do not follow the processes. It's like my heart is, you just clean your heart and God looks at that. And in my heart, I'm chanting 24/7. This kind of covered atheism comes from different backgrounds. So they think everything is Bhagwan, everything is just going on. So no need to explain to them anything. The last one under the categories is psychological atheist. Those people who profess believe in God or Krishna, but repetitively demonstrate their inability to practically live with it. They dress spiritual. They talk like spiritual people. They look like spiritual people, but whenever they read Srimad Bhagavatam, or whenever they hear about the glories of Nam, holy name, they don't believe on that. Even when they worship deity, they think, let's just talk in front of Radha and Krishna. They are not looking. They are just the deities. That subtle consciousness of not accepting Krishna in the form of deity, that subtle consciousness of not accepting the claims or the stories or the events which has been explained in Bhakti Shastras, and taking it, interpreting it in their own way, and also thinking that glories of Harinam and glories of this Bhakti Yoga process is an exaggeration. And on the pretext of that, discrediting Bhakti and adopting other means for helping themselves in life. That is also come under the philosophical atheism. Not having firm faith on the holy name of the Lord, or thinking that the holy name, the glories of the holy name is just an exaggeration. Which offense is this amongst the 10 offenses of Vaishnava Aparadha or Nama Aparadha? Anybody want to unmute and tell me what offense is this? All right. There is one of the offenses in 10 Nama Aparadhas, and this is the most prominent one. Arthavado. Harinamni kalpinam yatha arthavado. Arthavad is a technical name for thinking that exaggeration. So this atheistic philosophy is there present in the subtly, even in the heart of devotees. But why I'm here then? Why not to leave process? Because again, I am a patient. I am here in this hospital of Krishna consciousness, and I want to improve. I really want to improve. And for that, I am keep taking the medicine of Harinam. And I want to associate with those devotees who have the firm faith on the glories of Nam, who have the firm faith on the events or on the detailing which is given in Srimad Bhagavatam. When Bhagavan Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, Yat Katva na nirvartante tattama paramamama. Bhagavan is saying. So that means once I achieve love for Krishna, I'm not going to come back. That's for sure. That's what Krishna is saying. But we have so many doubts. So many doubts. And doubts are good as far as I'm able to resolve my doubts. But if the doubts are not getting resolved, then these doubts are just like Hiranyakashipu inside our heart. Hiranyakashipu, if we see, is representing a devotee who thinks that Vishnu is no more. But let me just perform, because I am his loka, let me just perform. People will perceive me as a very, very highly spiritualistic. Even in Upadeshamritam, nectar of instruction, 6 things which we should be avoiding so that our bhakti never get destroyed, one of the things is, what is the one of the things? Sangha Tyagas. And we should be not getting ourselves associated with whom? Bhakti Vinod Thakur, in his Piyusha Varshini, which is commentary on Updeshamritam, he is writing, he is giving a list of so many people in Sangha Tyagas. He is giving his own list and he is explaining that one of the peoples are, of course, as now here we are, we all are devotees. That's why we are here listening Srimad Bhagavatam. And we are very, very fortunate amongst those 400,000 types of consciousness of human beings. We came here as with such advanced consciousness. And we got the Bhakti Lata Bij from our Guru, from Srila Prabhupada. But nurturing is in the hands of devotees. Nurturing of that seed is in the hand of a person who wants to cultivate that seed. But unfortunately, many times we depend on the institution for our spiritual advancement. We think that now I am in a particular institution, I am all set, I am going back, and that's what has been given to me. But this is not the situation. Our relationship with Krishna, our relationship with our Gurudev, our relationship with our own bhakti is not dependent on any institution. Institution can help us, can provide so many things, facilitate so many things for our growth, but at the same time, institution is not responsible for our spiritual advancement. So, as we get the seed of bhakti, nurturing that seed with water and, changing the soil and whatnot. Those who are gardeners, they know how to nurture a seed so that seed can become sapling and then the sapling can become the plant. A gardener must be knowing. So we have to become that gardener. And for that, Sangha Tyagascha, what is Sangha Tyagas? We have to safeguard ourselves from those people who are visibly atheists, as well as those people who may not be visible as atheists. But when you hear them, when you talk to them, you can get to know that this person does not have the full faith on Harinam or on the process or what has been given to us. But that does not mean just we discard them from the list of our friends and we don't even see their faces. No. The meaning of association is do not accept their point of view. Understand that this person might be in the form of a form of a devotee, dressed like devotee. But when we discuss some things, for example, oh, wow, did you hear? Did you listen? Or did you read? In Krishna book, Krishna had used to have 900,000 cows. Not only that, did you read that chapter where it is mentioned that Ugrasena, who is the grandfather of, who is the father of Devaki, not the real father, but the father of Devaki, he had millions of people as his assistants, millions of people. Did you hear that? Or did you read that chapter? I was so fascinated. Huh? And the other person must be thinking, do you really think all these things are true? Just it's given, it's there the number is given. It, how could it be possible that billions of people were, engaged in the service of Maharaj Ugrasen, when we can see the total population of our country today, not the country, to the entire world is, even less than that. How you believe on that? So there is a philosophy which has been explained, behind all these things, and it is given in the commentaries by the acharyas. Without knowing that, I am not believing on this. So this mentality, we should try to safeguard ourselves, our Bhakti Lata Beach, from the consciousness of these people also. Very important. And Srila Prabhupada has said in the purport very, very beautifully, once who reach the spiritual world will never come back again. And Srila Prabhupada has mentioned about the karmis and jnanis, and then he's speaking about bhaktas. Prabhupada is saying that karmis and jnanis, they are not going to go to the eternal world. Or maybe they go in the, when we talk about karmis, then though karmis means those people who are just involved in the material world completely, and they don't want to get themselves involved anywhere with the spiritual life. They are not karma yogis, they are just karmis. They just want to have fun, and that's it. Prabhupada is saying with following the karma kanda, these kind of people will get pious result for their pious activities, and impious reactions for their impious activities. And the jnanis, in the case of jnanis, the jnanis at the most they are going to get sayujya mukti. Sayujya mukti means they are going to merge in the effulgence of Bhagwan. Effulgence of Bhagwan. For the bhaktas, they are going to enter into the relationship with Bhagwan, into the spiritual loka, goloka, which Krishna is mentioning in 15th chapter. Bhaktas are going to reach. But exactly, after finishing this line, Prabhupada in the next line he's writing, but those bhaktas who do not attain the spiritual perfection, what's the exact line? Let me just see here so that I can. Prabhupada is saying, after he explained that, Prabhupada started explaining, not this one, sorry. Prabhupada mentioned this line that bhaktas, those bhaktas who are not completely perfect, they are going to take birth. What is the meaning of not completely perfect? That means they did not attain the prema in this life. They did not attain that highest goal of prema in this life. These kinds of bhaktas, Krishna is guaranteed. By many times people ask, by doing bhakti, what we are going to achieve. We are not going to get perfect. We are so attached with our material things. We are in the varnashram system, or not, maybe not in the varnashram system, but we are trying to follow what Srila Prabhupada has given to us. So what we are going to attain. Some people say, oh, okay, we are definitely going back. And some say, no, there are so many problems in me. How I'm going to go back? And Prabhupada himself is saying that if the bhakta is not perfect, he is not going to go back. That means if the bhakta did not attain the love of Krishna in this lifetime, he is not going into that planet of universe where Krishna is performing the leelas right now. But Bhagwan is promising in 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. When Arjuna asked, what happened to these devotees? What happened to these transcendentalists? Bhagwan said the clear-cut answer. Those who fall down, or those who separated, or those whose, for some reason, their life get over or something, but they have started the bhakti process, even very little sukriti or auspicious act of bhakti karma, they are going to take birth as in the house of very influenced and aristocratic people, so that in next birth they won't have any of this financial or any of these problems, and with that percent of sukriti or auspicious bhakti act karma, they are going to get it, and they will start their journey. And the second type of people who are being practicing for such a long time, but again they stop, something happened, they just went away or something happened, they are going to take birth in the families of highly spiritual people. And Prabhupada is mentioning in the purport of that very words that I get the chance of getting such a birth. Prabhupada got the chance of taking such a birth. So bhakti is at least guaranteeing us a human form of birth next life. But that doesn't mean that let me just, chant our rounds inattentively. Let me not just follow the process seriously. Because by thinking like that and by doing like that, it is going to delay our going back or, entering into the spiritual world. That's the point, which is very important for all of us to understand. To kill that Hiranyakashipu in our heart, Bhagwan Vishnu, Bhagwan Krishna is sitting right there in all of our hearts. And he is listening what others are not listening. And he is understanding what others are not understanding. I may fake up as a very humble person. I may bluff all of you, but I cannot bluff Krishna. I may, tell you that all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all credits belong to this, all credit belongs to this. But how much humility actually I am feeling from my heart, only Krishna knows. And I cannot cheat him. I cannot cheat him. He is present in my heart right there, in my consciousness right there. Actually, my consciousness is coming. He is the source of my consciousness. So I cannot cheat him. Bhagwan very well knows who is a Hiranyakashipu and who is Prahlad Maharaj in a group of some devotees or in a group of people. So now it's up to me how to take this process, how much seriously I'm going to take this process, how much seriously I'm going to work on myself, how much seriously I want to progress in my Krishna consciousness. How much seriously? Am I here so that people can say, oh wow, Madhvi Gaurangi Mataji, you are in this process for such a long time. Wow, you can play mridanga. I don't know how to play mridanga, just an example. You know how to play this very nicely. You know how to speak this very nicely. Am I here for this reason, or I am here to really, really attain the love of Radha and Krishna and to go back? With the mature understanding of bhakti process, with the understanding has been given to us by our acharyas in the commentaries and by Srila Prabhupada. Especially we can see in this process, in this purport, when Srila Prabhupada is writing his purports, every line, every word is so important to understand. Just don't read it in haste because I want to finish the book. Read it, Srila Prabhupada commentary and others, if you have some time to understand it more deeper. Because Prabhupada himself is saying that bhaktas can enter into the spiritual world, but if the bhakta do not attain perfection, it did not become completely perfect. So don't think that if I enter into a certain institution, this institution is take care of me. I am responsible. Yes, mercy has been given to me. Now I am responsible for my sadhana. This bird of Harinam, which has been given to all of us unanimously, this bird start to flourish depending on the sadhana. Because there are mercy cases also. We are also mercy case. And mercy we already have received. So it's the time. Thank you so much for listening so nicely and with rapt attention. I'm very, very grateful to all of you for giving me such wonderful opportunity to speak on the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. Please bless me so that I may keep continuing my path of spiritual life with utmost humility, with the blessings of all of you assembled Vaishnavas. And anything you like, it's because of my of the teachers, of the senior Vaishnavas, Srila Prabhupada, my Guru Maharaj, as well as all previous acharyas. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much for such nice explanation of this verse and for explaining what is atheist and a bhakta and for stressing on the attributes of a real sadhak, true sadhak, and for bringing our attention to the fact that we can fool everyone in this world, but the Krishna sitting in heart, he is a witness to all our actions, not just exterior but also interior, what's going on in our heart and mind. And for also pointing our attention to the fact that people in general in this world are running after name, fame, position, but that can deter us on path of bhakti. So thank you so much, Mataji, all your pointers. I'm going to go back and listen to your class again. There were so many pointers, but yes, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you, and Dandavat Pranam, Mataji.
Dandavat Pranam to you, Mataji. Thank you so
Okay.
much for your kind comments, Mataji. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much. I second Premnandini Mataji, and she summarized your class very nicely. Such a wonderful points, Mataji. You explained so nicely in simple words. So, thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank
So
you.
I'll open the forum to all the devotees. If anybody has any question or comment, please go ahead. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandat Pranam. Thank you for the wonderful session. So, what is the state of the person who is self-realized?
What is the state of the person who is self-realized? Now, this self-realization, depending on the type of practitioner, because there are practitioners, one practitioner might be looking for the Brahman effulgence, and the other practitioner might be looking for the Paramatma realization in heart, and the third practitioner who is devotee of Bhagwan. So these are the three features which has been explained in 1.2.11 in Srimad Bhagavatam. All the supreme absolute truth is one, non-dual substance, but it can be understood by the different practitioner, by the different according to their own realization. So when we talk about the self-realization, so the goal of self-realization for the different practitioners vary. For the Brahmavadi, for a person who just want the effulgence, the coming from the Lord, in him, his path is different. He is following Jnana Yoga. His path is different. His self-realization is that if you take the basic meaning of self-realization, that means that I am Atma, I am the soul, which is different from the body. That we call Tat Pradat Jnanam. I am the Atma and I am different from this body. So I am soul. That's called self-realization. You know about yourself. That's the basic meaning, that you know about yourself. Now you know about yourself that you are the soul. So for the Gyanis, they want to merge themselves in that same quality, which is Sachidananda. But he understands that I am very minute. I have to just merge in this person. Self-realization is I already got myself. I'm the soul. And about the self-realization, Bhagwan Shri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita is explaining that those people who are self-realized, what are their qualities? That they are equipoised in every situation, and they are very humble, patient. Dhairyat also is there. Everything Bhagwan is explaining. And also, those people who follow the marg of jnana, Usually, in Bhagavad Gita chapter 12, from 8 to 12, Bhagwan explained so many qualities, and these qualities they are trying to build in them. Those are the qualities which we can see in a person who is a practitioner or who realized himself that I am Atma and I have to proceed further. Hmm? One is self-realization, and then the second thing is for the devotees, because this is the devotee circle. So I'm going to talk about devotees. Now, the devotee understand that I am a soul, but there is another higher understanding, which is that I am the servant of Krishna. And the devotee, as I realize myself, Prabhupada is self-realized soul. He realized that I am Atma, but not only that, I am the servant of Krishna. And by practicing all those qualities which is given in 8 to 12, a devotee don't have to work extra for that. It comes as the byproduct of practicing bhakti yoga. So you get my point, Prabhuji, what I'm trying to say? For a devotee, self-realization is that I am a soul plus I am the servant of Krishna, and he worked accordingly. For a jnani, he just think I am a soul, I am the as of the same quality as Brahman, so he work in that direction. But the self-realization, if you just ask me what is the simple definition, is to realize that I am soul, which is different from this Atma. And the qualities have been explained in Bhagavad Gita, 12th chapter, 8 to 12, where Bhagwan is mentioning that these are the qualities which a person should be working on.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
I hope that the answer is of some of your satisfaction. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Mataji, basically my point was to, once we have this self-realization that, I'm the soul, I'm not this body. That is the first realization. And what is the use of this understanding, probably, right? So whether I should get merged or I should serve Krishna, or so.
What is the use of this
Two
understanding?
level, like, I mean to say, that's what I was saying, that if the real self-realization is not only just knowing that I am the soul, but what I'm doing after that. Yeah.
Okay. So what you are saying is that, when we read in books, self-realization is this, but this is just the theory. What I'm doing after that, or when we realize it truly in our lives. So right now, I'm not doing pure bhakti. What I'm doing is mixed bhakti. And I theoretically know that I am eternal servant of Lord. I did not imbibe that in my, blood and veins. When I go out, I think that I'm this person, I'm that person, I have these roles and regulations, or I have this kind of role in my life. But when a person is really realized, when the theory really get into the realization, although I am working as a grahastha, I am in a particular ashrama, my consciousness is always connected with Bhagwan, that I am doing this as an eternal servant of Bhagwan. Examples like Prithu Maharaj. Although he was ruling the entire world, but his consciousness is always connected with Bhagwan. He always understood himself as the devotee of Bhagwan, but he was doing all these things. Normal grahastha life, or ruling the kingdom. The reason behind that was, there are 4 kinds of reason which has been given by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. But my point here is, once you realize, after that, what you do? You remain in your present ashrama and perform your duties with the consciousness that you are the servant of Lord. Connect yourself with Krishna, because your aim is that. Once you realize that, after what? If I realize I am soul, but I am not doing anything about it. Once I read my books, Bhagavatam or any Bhagavad Gita, I understood. Close it. I'm acting on the level of, again, bodily conception. Envy, greed, lust, everything is present in me. My, I and my. I'm doing still the same thing. That means I did not realize what I have read. I'm far away from that point of self-realization. A person who is self-realized is like Prahlad Maharaj, who understood that I am the eternal servant of Lord, and whatever I am doing, whether I am ruling the kingdom, whether I am in the forest, I am the same person. Consciousness, connecting. That's what we have to do. Work on that. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Okay. If there is not any other question, so we can end our call, Mataji, by your permission.
Thank you, Mataji, for this lovely class.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vanchakrupatarubhyascha.
कृपा सिंधु एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नंदकोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय।
जय।
जय
की जय। जय श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। श्री प्रभुपाद की जय।
जय
माता गौरंगी माता जी की
जय
जय।
जय।
August Assembly devotees, Hare Krishna.
कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण
हरे
कृष्ण
बोल हरि
हरि बोल, हरि
हरि
बोल।
बोल।
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
थैंक यू माता जी। हरे कृष्ण।
Krishna.